You might see the title of this video and be like, search for the fifth bending element. There is no fifth bending element. There's only 4 of them. Well, these guys don't know that. Like, of course they don't. So it's like, yeah. So, my voice is like not feeling the best today apparently, but like, so basically they're searching for the fifth element. That's the premise of the video. This is part 1. So let's dive in. This probably would have like not been on the same time scale, but like the Blue realized like there's not much more colonizing left to do, and they're like, we want to explore down here into this desert. So, in case you didn't know, there's the Siwang Desert down here. So they take big swaths of land. Swaths, fun word to say. And so does the orange team, copying the blue team, copycats. And even the purple team, all the copycats. Taking out some of this land. Who knows who actually did it first, so who are the copycats? Nobody knows, but blue is also like, let me copy that. So they do. And that is the wrong color. This color. What? Oh, is this one of the colors that's not on here? Color picker. That one. Okay. And then there's like in the blue tribe area, there's someone down here training in the in the orange tribe. They're airbenders. Training for airbending in the desert because they want to, and like they can move the sand, and like they're practicing like fine airbending, like moving the sand. But then they realize that they're actually like not just moving the sand through air, they're actually sand bending, because they're an earthbender but also a sand bender, and they're like, sand bending, so sand, and they make a new area of Sandy Nation. Let me just like red, this red colorish. Like, we want to make our own sand nation, and they take some land of the sand from multiple territories because they're like, we want the sand land, the man sand land, Sam man. And then they like, hey, San Savinya. I don't know. They take a bunch of this land and more because like this is very uncontested, and this is like a desert, so it's not like many people want this. It's not like highly valuable land, but for them it is because they're sand benders. So they take this large part of the Siwang Desert, and they're like, sand? You know. So they're like very happy about their sandy finds. So they're like, whoa, people are like, whoa, fifth element, wow. This is totally a fifth element, not a sub-bending element. So like, wow, ooh, fifth element, and like, people flock here because they realize like, they're like, fifth element. And right now, like, nobody, like, there's some people that are skeptical, like, oh, there's probably only 4 elements, just 4 is a nice round even number or something, but like, they're just like, sand is a new element, and this will get debunked later and shows a sub-bending element, but right now they don't know that, so they just think sand bending is a new cool thing. So meanwhile, up here, in this rebellious water-bending tribe, they're like, it's kind of hard for them to live up here because they don't have ice bending. But now they invent ice bending. So now this area is ice benders. None of them rebel. They're already like in this area. They decide to cede some of their land back to the Fire Nation because they feel bad about taking it in the past. I mean, they're kind of like, they're like the anti-war, they don't want no anti-life equation. But yeah, no, they decide to cede these islands over here, and they decide to keep what color is this area? Like, hey, and even maybe take a bit of this area, but so like, because they wanted like one centralized area, but now they discover ice bending, and people flock to there because they're like, ice bending? So they expand their land all the way up to here, touching the border of the world. Get debunked, flat earthers. Say fine, that like, it's like the world is curved. That's not really how it works. It's like, yeah, like it's curved. They can like, this is like a Mercator projection map. That's what it's called. Where it's like all even. Like the North Pole is actually not this big. Especially like in Avatar, like it would be a lot smaller, and like the top of the Earth Kingdom looks like bigger, but it would actually be like more in proportion like to the middle part, and like it's like weird. And the Fire Islands would actually be bigger compared, and like it's weird scales. But yeah, they're doing well because ice bending, I think. 6 elements? Wow. That's cool. But the thing of 6 elements was quickly debunked because they're like testing it out, and they're realizing, wait, this is like these like ice benders can change like state from like water to ice, so like they're like the same thing. So it's not a new type of bender, it's just like a different type of ice bender. Or a different type of water bender, I mean. So they're just kind of like, that's so cool, but like less cool. I guess there's only 5 elements for now. And you might be wondering, why didn't they like figure that out here? Because like sand bending's a bit harder because like sand is really tiny rocks, but it's also like it's hard to prove that you can change matter from earth to sand. They just say, oh, it's dust, it's not sand. Sand is different because they want to be unique. But eventually, the king of this kingdom, the lime green kingdom over here, is like, I want to disprove that sand is a different element. I think it's just a different earth-bending element. And there's like some people that can bend earth and sand, but they're just saying like, oh, you can, maybe there's these cool people that can bend multiple elements, kind of like an Avatar, but like only 2 of them, and only these 2 specific elements. They're really desperate, okay? So the Earth King, like, painstakingly grinds a block of, like, brings a block of earth, painstakingly grinds it down into fine grains of sand in front of this, like, court in the Sandbending Kingdom, like, up here where like their capital would be, and then reforms the exact same sand back into a rock. This took like 2 hours to do in total, probably, because it was like very meticulous, and you had to keep them up, and you had to like maybe like not 2 hours, maybe like 1 hour, but like this took quite a bit, like quite a long time to do this. But like they're like, sandbending is not the 5th element. Sandbending is just a subsidiary of earthbending. Sub-element. Okay, let's go to the swamp, you see, children. Over here, a group of people, like this new nomadic kind of people, are like, hey, let's go into the swamp. Woo. They go into the swamp. They take this area over, because they're like, ooh, swamp area. I don't know, I'm just thinking like that. But, swamp area, maybe, like, there's, like, it probably wouldn't happen in this order of events, but, like, they have some of this land. It's, like, very, like, very bright neon colors over here, so it's, like, I can't see anything. But, like, they take swamp area, and they, like, swamp bend, and, like, ooh, cool. And, like, they realize a lot of the waterbenders can also vine bend, but they're also, like, maybe it's, like, what the sandbenders thought, and, like, you can have multiple bending styles, but only for these specific bending styles. It doesn't matter. So, so then the Earth King, like, this Earth King is a strict believer of just, there's only 4 elements, and, I mean, he's right, but, like, not everybody think he is. So, he, basically pays a waterbender to go over there, try and demonstrate how, vine bending is also waterbending. So, then they go over there with the waterbender, and the waterbender, like, is just, like, using the vine and seeing how they work, and just, like, he finds out this demonstration and just, like, strips, like, who's the vine, moving this vine, and pulls out all the water from the vine using his water bending, and then he can't use the vine, and then he challenges the leader of the swamp kingdom, or swamp tribe area, and, like, can you bend this vine, almighty vine bender? And, like, the swamp guy can't, the swamp guy leader can't bend it, and it's like, that's because there's no water in it. But if I reintroduce water, I can bend it again. But they're just like, well, what if, like, it needs water to function, but it's still, like, a different kind of thing, where it's, like, phase change, where you can phase change the vine into, like, water, but, like, it's, like, different, because, like, the vine's still there, you're not changing the vine. So maybe you're just, like, not bending strong enough, and it's just easier to bend with water, because you're water bending also. So, like, we need to see, like, concrete evidence. But honestly, for most people, this was enough, and there's just, like, some few people just hanging on to this dream, but it really wasn't a thing, and they eventually just gave up. So we have a new debunked 5th element, vine bending. It's a sub-bending element of water bending. Yeah, so we have 2 water bending sub-elements, one up here and one down here, and an earth bending one right here. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. So, over here, we have some earthbenders in this yellow area. This is dictatorship. Well, this dictatorship is overthrown. They're like, hey, we don't want dictators. And the guy died because he got assassinated. And over here in the Fire Nation Islands, there's a lot of volcanoes, and someone was practicing earthbending near a volcano, and they realized that they were bending lava. Like, what? At that time, they didn't really know lava was just, like, hot rock. So they're like, oh my golly gee, I just found a new bending style. I don't know I'm speaking like this. So they're like, they tell everyone and their grandma about it. And they take over, like, this area and a bit of the coast. And like, yay, we find new element of bending subs. Nope, not gamer subs, bending subs. So funny. Hey, can I just... Yeah, that looks ugly like that, but, like... Fine. I'll just go, like... It's fine. Nobody will matter. I don't care about that line. Okay. Still keep this area over here, but, like... boom. Yeah, they have this new lava bending. I was like, what? Lava bending? They can bend lava? And they're like, woo, lava. And they're like, and they start expanding and getting more coastline, and like they eventually take over this island because they're like lava. So the yellow team only has land over here. They're like, well, we're at it. We should go extend our land over here and not go inland where the volcanoes are. They're like big expansion time, and same with this putrid greenish yellowish color that's also the same color as the rivers. Oh, fun. I never noticed that. Well, too late. Oh no, it's a different color than the rivers. It's just a similar color, I guess. Rivers are more of a gray. The gray! If you watch season 2 of Arcane, you should know about that. References? Where did you come from? Like, yeah. Gray's gonna kill a lot of people. Yeah. But yeah, that's happening over here, lava bending. They're like, what? Lava bending? This element? What? But then they're like, ooh. This one wasn't actually too hard to disprove. The Earth thing was like, no, fifth element's only 4. So he goes over and bends the lava and then lets it cool while still bending it just to show, and it's like, and then turns it into normal Earth. It's like, it's actually not that hard because like lava is just hot Earth. Like at most of the time in that room temperature, you can just leave it out for a while and it'll turn to Earth most of the time. So it's just like showing, and then he heats it back up, back into lava, and it's like, there are only 4 elements. Oh. So that one was just proven pretty quickly, because this Earth King is a big Debbie Downer. Maybe his name is Deborah. I don't know why Deborah, even though they're a boy. Maybe, I don't know, Mr. Downer. Or Mr. Debbie. Mr. Debbie Downer. I don't know. They're a very big Debbie Downer. They down on Debbies of Debbie Downs. Yeah, okay, Heart for the fifth element. Search for the fifth element. Okay, so now we have 2 earthbending sub-elements. You might be like, what about, like, airbending? Airbending doesn't have any sub-elements. People that tell you flight is a sub-element, and people that tell you spiritual projection is an airbending sub-element are either selling you something or just don't listen to them. They're con people. Not all of them are men. A lot of them are, though. I mean, have you heard of Yacone? Like, no, might be the, I don't know where that noise came from, but, you might want to see, like, what about fire and firebending sub-elements? And, like, yeah, you're right. Lightning bending, combustion bending will lead to a waiter. Who's a waiter? I don't know. Someone's got to serve it to you. I'm feeling very punny right now. But the sandbenders are like, hey, expansion time, because we want to expand throughout the whole Seawong Desert. And also they want some coastline, because even though they're sandbenders, like, they still need access to water. I mean, they need to drink stuff, so it's like, yeah, like, drinky, thirsty, sippy, sippy. So they're actually pretty big, but it's mainly because they could just, like, expand uncontested, because it's, like, literally deserted land. It's a desert. I mean, that's why they call it deserted. Or maybe something to do with the desserts. Maybe, like sweets. I don't know. You can never assume. But, yeah. expand a bit of this land into these No, that's not gonna work. I know it's not gonna work. Okay, that will work. Perfect. And they moved their capital from over here to over here because as much as they love sand, or I mean maybe over here, but like this is also a big city. As much as they love sand, they need access to water. It's like the Nile River. It's just like you kind of need it. Like even though you're sandbenders, like you need water. Fact of life. But goodbye, Avatar nerds, and have a good day, and have fun, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Especially subscribe. I'm aiming to reach at least 40 subscribers by the end of the year. So, subscribe. And if I do, there will be a special surprise.
Not my cabbage corp!